Hey, this is War 4 of Season 57, up against Salty, a very strong alliance. And at this point, Salty had already faced three strong alliances to start the season and beat them all. So we knew we were one of the few remaining stronger alliances for them to face. So we really needed to make sure we won this war. But yeah, starting off on Path 5 in Section 1 against this America Chavez using Dust. The nodes here are a bit tricky when it comes to fighting America Chavez, mainly just obstinate charge, because her AI already really likes to throw heavies, and having to reparry against her, and well, not even a special one, makes the fight a little tricky because she might stack her dimensions and her power gain might get out of control, especially using a champ like Dust, who doesn't have any power control. So you'll see there, she's throwing heavies. It's not really what we want her to do, but the main goal of this fight, or the strategy I had going into it, was to kind of just stack my sand passives as high as I could, try to bait special ones, which she is throwing, but you'll see here, Mystic Dispersion pushes her to 2 bars, but this isn't unblockable because she opened the orange dimension most recently. But yeah, we go for our heavy, straight into a special 2. I know it'll hit because it's unblockable, and right away the special 1 kills. So the strategy worked out pretty well, other than, eating the special 1 to the face. That went, about as well as I could have expected it to. So, not too bad there. Next is this node 14, aggression, precision, heavy hitter, ebb and flow knockdown, Nick Fury. Nick is tactic, Dust is tactic as well, so this is a pretty standard matchup. Dust also pretty much just hard counters this fight entirely because she's bleed immune, so you don't have to risk getting hit by a Nick Fury light ender and bleeding out. She also has grit during sandstorms, so even if he did throw a heavy, I could just play normal and counter it. Like you'll see here, I don't have it, so I just kind of back off, play safe. But yeah, similar to the last fight, the goal is to just kind of stack my sand, get to my 3 bars of power, trigger sandstorm, and just try to nuke him. And yeah, this fight is actually even easier with the attack tactic because you can just hit through his block if you have the unblockable passive for openings. So you'll see we trigger sandstorm, start throwing our specials. Doesn't quite send him into second life, but this combo does. Go for another special 2 here. Does pretty solid damage, 1 hit crit, but he has his protection shield now. And at this point, I have like 70 something prowess. I'm just gonna throw these specials through the protection. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was looking for a special intercept there, but he threw a special 1 first, which is like fine. Just takes a couple more seconds, and we get like a 28,000 medium crit to end the fight. So yeah, not too bad there. Next is this path 2 in section 2, strike counter, vitality, I think use it or lose it, and never back down, like dash back regen, yeah. And this Black Panther had caught a couple bodies last season, I think. So using Dust, the strategy was to use a Power Start 1 boost to try to manage strike counter charges because they reset when you throw a special. But other than that, Dust does really well here because she can actually parry stun Black Panther with her glancing mechanic. So yeah, it's going really well so far. We've already got him down 30 something percent, and we're only like, less than 20 seconds in. There, I eat the second heavy hit because I didn't want to trigger the regen, which, could have been easily avoided. I probably should have just dexed it to be safe, but you'll see me there. I block the second hit of his special just to make sure the regen doesn't trigger. And yeah, so far this is going really well. Our sandstorm's expired. This special one doesn't quite kill, which is a little frustrating. But yeah, I actually just decided dash back here because he's low enough and I can just combo him through the regen and, he dies. Someone else took that penny for me. I could have probably done it with Dust with the attack tactic, but we just had someone else bring Titania. Next is this Lumitrix on Power Focus 2, Bubble Shield, and I think Root, like Root every 6 seconds if you don't hit them. So yeah, we're using Professor X here. He's, I think, the safest option within the tactic, mainly because he has evade and miss counters in his kit once he reaches his 25 Cerebro charges. And Lumitrix's main defensive threats are that after special 1, he goes, untouchable, like you'll see there, invisible. But Professor X has vigilance, so we can just hit through it. And the other thing is trying to manage Bubble Shield and the Root can be annoying, I believe. Mainly because his heavy has a lot of hits and you can't really full dex it, at least from when I was dueling. And you'll see here, I'm on 10, like 10 Bubble Shield charges, so I'm trying to make sure it doesn't hit me unblockable, but instead I just eat 3 of his heavy hits. And now my invul is gone, which is a bit annoying, but it's not going too badly so far. We get rooted here, so we can't punish his special, so I decide to just special 2 to break the root, even without being in mind control, which does slow me down a little bit, but it's not the end of the world, and it was more just for safety purposes. Here he has 2 bars, so I'm, like, trying to make sure he doesn't throw a special 2, but he throws a special 1, thankfully, and we're just kinda keep baiting it, doing the same thing, and we go for our own special 2 here, and I'm pretty sure this kills. Yeah. So, I kinda understood why they put Lumitrix there, even though it was, like, a pretty straightforward Professor X fight, mainly just because there is a lot to keep track of with his animations and the root and bubble shield. But yeah, last is this standard known 48 photon. My alliance mate had put a Shotter pre-fight here, which does absolutely nothing, so I guess he was just being silly. But yeah, I stared at that for a good few seconds before going in because I was like nervous about the fight, and I was like, why are there two pre-fights here? I really only asked for one of my alliance mates to put the Mr. Fantastic debuff siphon on. But yeah. This photon, I've taken it, a few times at this point. It's a fight I'm getting used to, but it's still a fight that can go very wrong very quickly. I tend to prefer a power start 1 boost here, mainly just because I can throw my special 1 right away and get an endurance buff to keep some of her debuffs off of me for as long as I can. But here, she's at 18 charges. We know she's going into Pure Light. I have a couple debuffs. We just parry the last hit. We're able to play it. We're managing Bane really well here, and we get our special 2 off just as our Vicious passive is about to expire, which is really good. So now we're kind of just really waiting for her to fall over and die. But yeah, we get the Bane transfer. She's still in Pure Light, so I have to block this special. It hurts because I have, 7 energy vulnerability debuffs on me at the time. But yeah, she's ticking away, and at this point, the fight is over. And yeah, that went pretty well. It wasn't as fast or as healthy as I've done the fight. But yeah, we did end up going 150 and TJ this war. So MLP TJ. But yeah, GG's to Salty. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.